Hello everyone, Bashar here. So I have been playing Monster Train 2 a lot, right? I like the prequel as well. It's a nice game to pick up, but of course, if you are, from YouTube mostly, you would be more, adjusted to the Path of Exile 2 content. I like card games as well. That's what I've been streaming these days, and I also am a bit of a achievement maniac, so to speak. Right, I like trying to get or actually get all of the achievements in games. So I have been trying for 100% achievements on Monster Train. It's a work in progress, right? There are some nasty achievements out there, and in this one, I am going to be talking to you about, I believe it was called Malicka Sidekick. If you have been following the story, right, it's a Titan lady that's a bit of a trickster, and so that's her challenge, right? Completing all 21 dimensional portal challenges. As you can see, it's not linear at all. It is quite branched out. The runs have covenant ranks ranging from 0 to 6, if I recall. Mostly it's 1 or 3, I think. So your primary and allied clan will be predetermined, as well as your pyre, right? And then 3 mutators will be active. And thing is, guys, normally I wouldn't do a video for this, right? These would be simple. These are not simple, right? They were quite a pain in the ass, right? I mean, I guess I spent a little below 20 hours here. Yeah. I mean, so it was 21 challenges, and I spent about an hour on each. Obviously, I didn't spend an hour on each, right? But yes, the average time, I had to redo them quite a few times, some of them, right? And I will, go over how to, complete these. If you want to, see what I did, some of them were on stream, and you can take a look at the past broadcasts on Twitch or YouTube to see what I did. But generally, guys, I will give you some general advice. So you have to capitalize on the mutators, right? That's generally how it rolls. So for example, guys, this is 3 random equipment was 0, and attack and health benefits from equipment are doubled. Yeah, I mean, you can just start and re-roll, right? You can just do this. So for example, let me just start. I'm not gonna do any actual playing, but okay. So let's take a look here. I mean, take a look at this, guys. I mean, so this is a win, I would say. Right? Just this Heav's hammer is insane. 0 cost 40 attack hammer. But guys, let's say, and imagine you go to the shop and you combine these into one, right? 40 attack, 20 health, kill, slay, you get 1 capacity, and revenge, you get attacked, you apply 3 pyre gel, which makes them take 3 damage from all sources. Yeah, it's beautiful, right? But let's say you don't like it. You just go here, refresh, and let's take a look. Boom. What do I have? Insane. Yeah. So that's about it, right? You can just do this. It's a powerful move. Okay, let's abandon the run. Let's go back here. So each time you draft a card, gain a second copy, double money, earn double states. So these are the starters, and these are just face roll. Take a look at this, guys. Double gold earned, it's insane. You practically remove everything from your guys. You also grab every single upgrade possible, and double stacks all states effect is insane. You gain double rage, you gain double valor, right? You just pick a champion that does these, and well, the ability is going to be on the champion, but you can just choose. And also keep in mind the pyre. Most of the time you will have the proto hard cage, which has no special abilities, but sometimes you will have a special one. So these are the easier ones. Yeah, friend units get quick, very nice. Ascend friend units at the end of each turn. That means capacity is kind of meaningless, right? You just build up on the top floor, and then you do a decent floor on the second floor, and they will all go up. Yeah, I mean, this is a bit of an inconvenience, but this is nothing. Again, these are the simple ones. And now you could be saying, you just reviewed 3 and these are all simple. Why the need for this video? Let's just go in deeper. So, descend all friendly units that will help with the capacity. Take a look at this though, guys. 10 attack and SAP 7. SAP makes you lose 2 attack per stack, which means you are starting off with negative 4 attack, right? So for example, if your character has 10 attack, you will have 6 attack, right? If you have 5 attack, you will have 1 attack at first, right? So this is a bit of a problem. All friendly units get +1 capacity, even though that doesn't look like much when we are descending. That can be a problem in setting the stuff up, right? So for example, in the second floor, you can set up a 2 capacity one and a 1 capacity one, because they will get amplified by 1 each and they will fill the floor. And of course, constantly descending can be a problem, because if someone gets away from you, that can be a problem. But Pyro of Savagery is here to help, right? You get permanent attack, and after a few fights, your attacks will go up, and the sap will be, it will not be countered, but somewhat negated, I would say, right? And Fel is an extremely good starter champion. You can go for the permanent Valor upon shift, and once she starts going strong, she also has multi-strike as well. She can go pretty good. Oh yes, this is terrible. So this is one of the bad ones. So volatile spell, guys. So the problem with this is, this is a huge problem. So shuffled units, it's somewhat of an inconvenience, because your squishy guy could get in front. We have volatile gauge, that's beautiful, right? We draw 2 additional cards per turn, and the costs are randomized between 0 and 3. So stay away from the low cost and go for the high cost, because the costs are random. Keep in mind, in Monster Train, guys, the cost reduction is applied after volatile gauge is done, right? So for example, you grab a 1-1 cost to something, then that means that skills cost will be between 0 and 2, right? So volatile gauge will randomly roll between 0 and 3, and then the cost reduction will happen. So that's important. And this is a huge pain in the ass, right? The target of spells are chosen randomly, and undo is disabled. I mean, you cast a spell and you can't undo, because it's random. And the problem is, guys, we start off with Fireborn, which has Firestarter. Firestarter is extremely bad, right? The mix can be okay, right? I mean, if you are on the floor alone, you can do something that's buffing you, or if the enemies are along the floor, you can do something negative, but it's a bit of a pain in the ass. You have to immediately remove fire starters, right? Because they are terrible. You pay 1 energy and you can apply Pyre Gel to yourself. It's terrible. So guys, this means go for spells that only affect enemies that are harmful, or that only affect friends that are helpful, right? Or just don't go for spells. The way I did this one was, generally I removed all of the fire starters and I removed some of the secret ingredients, and I tried to not get any spells, really. I'd go for the expensive units and a few spells, and that's how it was. This is one of the harder ones. This one. We start off with 2 days, which means for 2 turns we are not going to do anything, right? And this is not like this one, right? We can't eventually negate it. Days 2 means, as I said, 2 turns nothing. So you can build up on the top floor. So by the time the enemies arrive there, your days is off, right? Spells cost -1. That's beautiful, of course. And we have an additional upgrade on the spells. So you set up on the 3rd floor, and you handle some enemies in the first few floors. And Luna Coven is very famous for nuking, right? We also have Pyreborn, so you nuke the squishier targets, and then on the top floor you kill them, right? or you can go for a high spell power Eka. You can just nuke everything for 2 turns. It's not very easy, so this is a bit of a pain. The stuff that you get is important, right? The attuned AoE spells, etc. are pretty good, right? If you do a few up. So guys, they cost -1, and we have also 3 upgrades, right? So you can achieve extremely powerful spells. The attuned AoE thingy, right? You can make it 0 cost and an intrinsic, right? And additional spell power on it. You just have to get a few tries in, and that will work. Next up, we have stop hitting yourself. Oh yes, this is pretty terrible. All units gain multi-strike. That's very nice, right? But also the enemies as well. They enter with spikes, and when they move, they gain 3 more spikes. So you have to set up in the first floor mostly, right? So because when they go up, they will gain more spikes and it will become more painful. Quick is pretty useful. You also will want some healing, or Valor can help. Yeah, this is painful as well. As I said, set up on the lower floor and try to nuke down the ones that get past you, or have something with Titanite tank them. Yeah, so this one. +2 capacity on each floor, lose 1 gold whenever a friend unit takes damage. Spells cost +1. Yeah, again, this is going to be a unit heavy, right? Because we have all the capacity, right? And spells are costing additionally. So this doesn't lose you as much gold as you would imagine. It does lose you some, but it doesn't lose you all that much. So, you can do a bullet with permanent rally, increase 1 attack, and cluster general, I believe it was called. Resolve. At the end of the turn, he spawns 4 fungi, right? Yeah. Can do a bit of casting, but mostly we do not want too much casting. Permanent 1 capacity. Oh, this is a bit terrible. So we have, Luna Lazarus, no special power, permadeath. So this is pretty painful. When a non-champion unit dies, it's purged from your deck. That means it's removed from your deck permanently, right? So you have to make sure that you are only losing the champion because the champion is not purged. Champion and maybe stewards or something like that, use the stuff, because also we will have to remove 2 cards after every battle, and this is not optional. You have to remove 2. So guys, I would definitely suggest picking up every single card reward that's being offered, because you will start running out of cards. We enter with lifesteal 3, but that doesn't do it, and you could get one-shotted in a single turn. So in this event, the card that duplicates 5 copies of a card is very powerful, right? You create a tanky minion. So for example, guys, you go for I don't know, the guy that gets +15 +10. Let me just find them. Library. Okay. Lunar Coven. Okay, I'm gonna find him now. Yes, Shaker. That's the one, right? So you go for this guy, right? You get some health upgrade and maybe some Titanite. Takes half damage, and then you can clone him 5 times, or you can just clone him at every single opportunity, and then you wouldn't mind the deaths all that much. This was again a pretty terrible one. Yeah, have to be careful, but try to make it just so that it's the champion that dies. Even your stewards are valuable, because because removing is a must. You will remain cardless after some point if you die too much. And as I said, pick every single card reward. So for example, as garbage has been offered, pick the garbage, right? And you can remove the garbage after the combat, right? Okay. Ooh, this is terrible. Okay, so guys, normally we have the combat preview, right? It says this guy takes 10 damage, this guy dies, etc. You just don't have it. So the way to do this is generally be very confident that you win. And we have Orechi and which we yeah, Eka. Yeah, with Orochi you can go for a lot of reanimation. And we also have these. These get a problem in the late game. So -3 energy per turn, which means you do not get energy until the first boss, right? You just have 20 energy at the beginning of the fight, right? You get your deployment stage energy. I believe that's 4. So you start off with 24 energy and you never ever get more energy. I mean, unless your cards give you. And the energy is preserved between turns, right? That's Unbroken Horn. If you have played Slay the Spire, that's Ice Cream, right? And we also have, again, Slay the Spire, Runic Pyramid, but with -2 cards per turn. So what you have to do here is, guys, so the first boss, right, you could go for, a capacity reward, and the second boss, you have to get an energy reward because, guys, first 3 fights, 20 energy is going to be sufficient-ish, right? Because we have a starter card that costs 0. Anything that helps you with the energy is fine. At the 5th or 6th fight, this energy will start falling a little bit short. We also get 3 energy from our card's reservation, so we will have 27 energy for all the fights up until 6 if you grab the capacity boss relic from the first one. And yeah, at the 5th and the 6th it will fall a little short, but if you have a good deck you will manage, and then you have to get the energy, right? And the energy will only give you 1 energy per turn. But as I said, guys, for the last few fights they last longer and you will need some energy. 27 will just not be enough, right? Or you could get something that gives you energy. For example, there is an artifact that gives you the relic that gives you energy when it becomes full moon for the first time. If you have lunar manipulation, that will mean +1 energy per turn. This is pretty good. You can just sit on your cards. You don't have to use them, right? I mean, if you have some incant, you can actually have a hand size of 10 and get it done. Yeah, this is one of the harder ones again, and also it's a little bit discomforting, right? The math challenge being disabled. Now we have the stewards, no champion, right? But all cards have additional upgrades, so that's very powerful. And also we have this heart, +4 deployment phase energy, Amber. And the deployable upgrade is cheaper. That's a bit of a weird balance, but whatever, right? And the stewards get +10/+10 for each upgrade. So guys, when I did this, I upgraded 1 or 2 stewards, but it can generally be done. Banished is a very powerful clan, so we will not have Talos in here. But there are very nice tanks here. You could just go for the spawn mechanic, right? I mean, you can just create a big fungi, and we do have 3 upgrades on all cards, spells, and units alike. So yeah, this one is also not very bad. And as you can see, the Covenant rank changes, right? Didn't go over it. Covenant 3, Covenant 1, they get a little bit harder. There are even no Covenant ones. And no Covenants is actually somewhat harder than Covenant 1 because it does add some cards to your deck which increase the quality by a lot. Enemies are stronger is definitely countered by this. Okay, so we have this one. Spells cost +1, which means you have to avoid spells, right? We also have Heart of the Pack, which is pretty good, +1 card. Whenever a non-champion you dies, it's purged from your deck. It's similar. And room card. So guys, what you will do here is just restart this challenge until you get a really good room. For example, the Infernal room is extremely good, right? You put it there, and at the beginning of your after turn, they take 50 damage. It will trivialize the first few fights, right? I mean, everything small will die, and beefier guys will definitely be softened up, right? Again, you have to be careful with this. You can just try to make the champion tankier, right? Or you can get a very tanky unit that doesn't die, or you could, tank with your champion and let that one die. Do not trust spells too much. It can go pretty bad. Okay, what do we have here? All cards again have an additional upgrade slot. They come with 1 random upgrade. So the thing is, This means spells come with an upgrade at no cost, because as you can see, units get -5 attack for each upgrade on the card, but that's still worth it, right? This is no big deal. So random upgrade is a big deal, right? And you can use Lady Gilda, right? She does the egg. You can use the Dragon's Horde mechanic. This one again is not that bad. Might take a few tries maybe. And we have Covenant 5 here. Gets a little bit hard. Yeah. This one I believe was my last one. This is pretty ugly. Yeah. So first off, it's Covenant 5, right? We start off with 2 Vengeful Shards. We have 2 curses in our deck that we have to play every time for 1 cost, right? If we don't, it deals 1 damage to our pyre, right? The dead weights are different. Dead weights are just in our deck, and they do nothing. You can't do anything with them. They just, clutter your draw. But we have Pyre of Entropy, which is a very powerful pyre. Each unlocked after beating the Titans for the first time. What it does is, so after every fight, it gives us a Vengeful Shard, right? 1 more curse that has to be cast for 1. And draw 1 extra card for each 2 blights in your deck. Yeah, I mean, it's... so you will draw 10 every turn, right? So there is no need for drawing Boss Relic. You could go for Capacity or Energy. I think I went for Capacity and Energy. And another problem is our champion starts with 10 sap, which means minus 20 attack, which wears off at 2 at a time, right? Minus 20, minus 18, minus 16. And Heartless means not healable, right? So friend units are also not healable. It's a little bit bad. Yeah. But thing is, guys, when you spawn, the fungi will get bigger, right? Because that's not healing your actual spawning units. So, yeah. She has a nice ability. Or she can just spawn. Yeah. This was a little bit hard. I mean, I would suggest just going for making a tanky champion, Shade Guard from Luna Coven or something like that. Plus additional health. Titanite is very useful, right? And events can help you guys. So a few of these nastier runs, right? I think I got them with Dante. If you have played, you will know, right? He's a guy that comes from an event and he gains multi-strike for each curse in your deck, and when you play him, he will give you a permanent curse. And imagine finding him here, right? He will be having like 10 multi-strike, right? And you buff him a little and yeah, everything goes crazy. Okay. Okay, this is a little bit ugly. So we have Hellhorn, we have the Imps, and the summon effects will trigger twice. And we will also gain double stacks of everything, but they will have energy. This is somewhat annoying, but for example, Molting Imp would be very nice, right? Where you play him, he deals 5 damage to everything, the damage shield goes off, and he does 5 damage again. That will kill the little guys. So that sort of stuff is useful, right? Somewhat annoying, but definitely manageable. I mean, try to get Molting Imps and similar stuff. Double Battle Cry effects is pretty good. Okay. So when enemy units die, they deal 5 damage to the front friend unit. So guys, this is a very good time to utilize morsels, right? You put the morsel in the front, and the guy that dies deals damage to the morsel. It's a good move. Cure light wounds, restore 5 out to all units after combat. Okay, that helps us. And this is a nice amount of additional gold. Spawn an additional collector in battles that already have a collector. So the little guy that we catch and kill for more gold, there will be more of him around. Okay. This is interesting, yeah. So this doesn't look that bad, right? It actually looks easy. It's not easy by any means, guys. So again, Covenant rank is 5. That's a problem, of course. As you can see, it is getting more challenging. So your champion is replaced, right? So you do not get the Hellhorn champion, and that can be annoying because, for example, guys, you get I don't know, the under legion fella, and you are not rallying, so what meaning is there, right? And also you gain the other champion. So guys, this looks very powerful and very cool, right? It's not as good as what you would imagine. I mean, two champions at once is pretty good, but yeah, losing your main champion, because guys, your champion is designed to synergize with your primary clan's synergies, right? I mean, you might just not even have access to the synergies that work with your champion, so this can be annoying. And all units gain +5/+10. Your party gains 10, right? It looks very good, right? It is very, very bad. Why? Because guys, take a look at this. These torches, they do nothing. Because the first few fights that are guys with like 3 HP, 2 HP, 1 HP, 5 HP, right? And now they have 13 HP and torches do nothing. Immediately remove torches from your deck, right? And yeah, don't be shy to restart the run. I think I managed this when I got a Penumbra, right? I mean, I wasn't able to gorge, but he was very big and he was taking care of a single floor for the quite first few fights. And yeah, but this is mighty challenging, right? Immediately remove the torches. Do not get anything that does a lot of damage, because as I said, the minimum creature will be 11 health, right? So that is a problem. Your party gains 10, it just doesn't do the same effect, right? This is I had to do this a few times. Next up we have cheat and repeat. This also is very hard, right? I think this was the most surprising one for me. It's an end challenge, so to speak. Yeah. So guys, Stygian Guard, Lunocon, we have a lot of cheap spells. We have Holdover, beautiful, right? It's not beautiful at all. So the problem here is, guys, when all spells, so a spell with Holdover means you play it and it goes on top of your deck. But imagine you have access to a lot of weak garbage spells, and in order to save your skin, you have to use them. And when you use them, they go all on top of your deck, and you are basically not able to see new cards, right? I mean, so for example, guys, I had something nice in my deck. The fight was ending without seeing that nice card, right? I was purposefully stopping myself from using some cards at the cost of taking damage, so I could see new cards, yeah. And this doesn't help. Minor bosses enter with stealth 5, so that means everything except the 3rd, the 6th, and the 8th stage will enter with stealth 5. That's also a problem, right? I mean, stealth 5 is a lot. So you have to have some tanky guys, making some time pass so the stealth will wear off, because you will not be able to hit them. And on top of that, they enter with damage shield. It's really, really terrible. So guys, you have to take off that energy shield. You do those witch weaves, and then the next turn you will be drawing those witch weaves again. Yeah, it's pretty terrible. Yeah, I think I made some Naga ladies here. I got like some upgrades and an event upgrade. I also had some ascension descension mechanic, and I was making a nice big floor. That's how I passed this one. This one is very challenging. It could be the hardest, I think. Yeah. We go over it again. All cards have initial upgrade. Each capacity is going to increase by 1. That's a little bit annoying, right? You have to be very careful with the upgrades here, and these are very annoying. Multi-strike, 1 health units. This is pretty annoying. Thing is, this disrupts your strategy, right? So, for example, you have your Penumbra there, and you are planning on doing some morsel action. Bang! This idiot spawns next to it, right? It's pretty annoying. Yeah, this might take some time to get used to. So, I would definitely suggest grabbing the capacity upgrade from the first boss. And then at this point you would have some sort of strategy working, I think. These are pretty bad though. This is a pretty bad disadvantage, and it's also Covenant 3. Yeah, this is interesting. So we have collectors. We have additional collectors in each fight, right? in fights that have collectors. And also, now they don't retreat anymore, but they have increased stats. And thing is, guys, they smack now, right? They also hit you. So they don't run away and they hit you, and there will be two of them. And everything also enters with a damage shield. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying, but this Phoenix Fire is a pretty good ability. Right? Go for some partial synergies. Would be nice. Yeah, you could get an equipment on Lord Phoenix and increase his attack and deal more damage. This will take a few tries, but it's enjoyable. And of course, guys, when you start get going on the collectors, you will be swimming in gold, and of course that will make a rather large difference. And this is the only Covenant 6 one, I think. Oh yes. So either this one or this one are the hardest. But this also definitely is a competitor. I think this one could be the hardest. I'm not very sure. I think this one was, yeah. So guys, we have the Under Legion and Stygian Guard, right? And we have this huge terrible drawback. So our shard is fragile, which means if it takes damage, you will die, right? And it has damage shield too, which means you can take damage in the fight twice per fight, right? The third time you take damage, it's done. You are destroyed. And thing is, it's Covenant rank 6, and that means there will be 2 Vengeful Shards in your deck, right? Stupid curses that deal 1 damage to your pyre if you didn't play them. And take a look at this, guys. So if you don't play the curses, one of your 2 shield goes away. Yeah, have to be very careful. SN friend units at the end of turn, that's very nice. You can make a very nice big floor. We also have Under Legion, so we can make a huge floor with rally spawn, right? You can go for rally permanent attack on the bullet, but you know, AoE will be a problem because, you know, bullet will, if you don't give him multi-strike somehow, he will take care of 1 target, and the fungi will also take of 1 target. But if you need AoE, that's going to be a problem. You could go for the decay applying mushroom fella there, right? And cure light wounds, restore 5 out. That doesn't mean much. This does save us. Friend units gain slave plus 1 attack permanently. So yeah, this might take quite a few do-overs. Somewhat painful. And after you complete all 21 of those, you will get Malicka Sidekick achievement. I thought, you know, because the wording is ambiguous, I thought, you know, one more challenge for militia would pop up. No need, right? You get all of these, and the achievements will pop. So that's about it, guys. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.